Welcome to this explainer. Let's jump right in, shall we? Today, we're exploring a truly fascinating sci-fi survival story called The Weaver of Spacetime. But we aren't just here for the fiction. We're going to use this incredible narrative to unpack some very real, absolutely mind-bending physics. Things like entropy, black holes, and the emergent fabric of the cosmos itself. It's a story about the ultimate end of everything and what it might actually take to survive it.
The universe was dying. Not with a bang, but with a long, drawn-out sigh. This quote perfectly sets our scene, right? We're starting our journey aboard the research ark Bekenstein-09. Here we meet Dr. Elena Vance, a theoretical physicist, and her cybernetic colleague, Marcus. They are navigating through a suffocating, pitch-black void known to astrophysicists as the Degenerate Era. We are talking trillions of years in the future, long after the very last stars have burned out. Section 1. A cold, dying universe. To really grasp the absolute life or death stakes here, we have to understand the harsh thermodynamic reality they're trapped in. Think about the distant past. Our universe used to be filled with bright, energetic, main sequence stars. But now, in this degenerate era, all that's left are dying iron stars, an absolutely freezing void, and a cosmic background radiation that has faded to just a fraction of a Kelvin. The Bekenstein-9 relies entirely on thermodynamic gradients, differences in temperature, to run its closed-loop ecosystem. But as the universe cools down and levels out, it reaches local equilibrium. And for Elena and Marcus, equilibrium means the reactors fail. It literally means they become dust. This brings us to a fundamental concept: entropy. It's the physical law saying all processes inevitably increase total disorder, basically dispersing energy until everything is just cold, flat uniformity. But while Elena is tracking these fading temperature gradients, she spots something on her scanners that should be completely impossible. In Sector 4G, there's a steep, inverted thermodynamic funnel. Space there is literally being stripped of its random thermal fluctuations. It's becoming highly organized. It's like something is running a giant vacuum cleaner across the cosmos, just sucking up disorder. So how do they interpret this? Well, Marcus immediately compares the anomaly to a Maxwell's demon. Now, in classical physics, this is a famous thought experiment about a microscopic entity that reverses entropy by sorting fast and slow molecules without doing work. But in real physics, this is strictly forbidden by Landauer's principle, which tells us that erasing or sorting information must dissipate heat. You always have to pay a thermodynamic price. And yet, this anomaly they're tracking, it's drinking heat. It's not shedding it at all. Section 2. The Space-Time Weaver Entity. Desperate to survive the fast-approaching end of time, our crew alters course toward this anomaly, and what they find completely defies standard biology and engineering. Instead of another ship or some metallic structure, they find what they call the Weaver. Elena describes it as looking like a macroscopic Calabi-Yau manifold, and it's 3 kilometers across. No way, right? It's a shimmering, living geometry made of a self-sustaining lattice of highly entangled quantum states, just constantly folding through higher dimensions. No flesh, no bones. It's a creature made of pure mathematical abstraction. Section 3. Eating chaos, excreting geography. Which brings us to the million-dollar question. How does a creature made of math actually live? Well, it literally feeds on the disorder of the cosmos. First, it ingests the chaotic, high-entropy quantum foam of the dying universe. Second, acting as a massive topological insulator, its boundary states entangle with these incoming chaotic particles, performing real-time quantum error correction. Finally, it takes that purified information, channels it inward, and pushes out a massive thermodynamic compression as waste. And that waste happens to be highly organized, custom-tailored space-time metrics. This part of the story leans heavily on some truly cutting-edge theoretical physics, specifically the Ryu-Takayanagi formula and the ER-EPR conjecture. These concepts suggest that smooth, classical spacetime actually emerges from underlying entangled quantum states. So, because the Weaver's biological waste is perfectly entangled, highly organized quantum information, it physically manifests as pristine, newly woven spacetime. Let's look at this cosmic feast in action. Elena and Marcus watch this creature graze on a primordial micro-black hole. It's absorbing the high-energy, chaotic Hawking radiation just pouring off of it. And in doing so, it's actually solving the black hole information paradox in real time. It has to untangle the scrambled data just to digest its lunch. But the craziest part? It then excretes an Alcubierre warp bubble, sliding right into this newly created metric to travel across space.
As Elena realizes, this creature literally eats chaos and excretes geography. Section 4. Trapped by a singularity. Elena and Marcus decide to ride the Weaver's wake, basically following the safe, stable geometry it leaves behind. But space at the end of the universe is incredibly treacherous. A sudden metric shear forces their ship off the safe trail, and the timeline is utterly unforgiving. At 47 minutes, they realize they've fallen into the inescapable gravity well of Gargantua Prime, a dormant, supermassive black hole with 10 billion solar masses. At 42 minutes, their trajectory shows they'll pass the Weaver entity, which is also trapped nearby. And at 0 minutes, they'll be completely crushed by the singularity. The countdown to absolute destruction is on. Section 5. Breaking the event horizon. Both the ship and the Weaver are staring death in the face. The Weaver is actually starving, desperately trying to feed on the impossibly slow trickle of Hawking radiation leaking from this leviathan. Elena realizes the Weaver is attracted to the black hole because it holds a massive reservoir of entropy locked inside. It's the ultimate thermodynamic feast, but it can't cross the event horizon without being crushed. So here's the impossible question. How do you break an unbreakable mathematical boundary like an event horizon so this creature can feed? Well, Dr. Vance formulates a wildly reckless plan. She decides to decouple the ship's primary fusion reactor and drop it directly into the black hole. Her theory is that throwing this massive, highly ordered magnetic state onto the chaotic quantum horizon will create a localized thermodynamic shockwave. For just a fraction of a millisecond, it should open a thermodynamic siphon, basically a temporary leak of raw entropy for the Weaver to drink from. Section 6. A custom pocket universe. With literally minutes of life support left, they launch the glowing reactor core directly into the blackness. When that highly ordered core hits the entangled surface of the horizon, the reaction is completely spectacular. It triggers a massive, cone-shaped eruption of raw, unfiltered entropy. The Weaver lunges at it, absorbing an astronomical amount of disorder. The sheer volume of this processed information causes a total thermodynamic overload. The creature swells, glowing this brilliant sun gold, and it immediately faces a critical biological imperative. It has to excrete its new metric right now or collapse into thermalized dust. Using the fallen ship as its gravitational anchor, the Weaver excretes something way beyond standard geometry. It creates a localized, self-contained, closed time-like curve neatly nestled within an inflating pocket of spacetime. It essentially builds a custom micro-universe, completely decoupling the Bekenstein 09 from the deadly gravity of the black hole and the dying cosmos outside. Inside this newly woven golden pocket of spacetime, life begins again. There are zero external gravitational forces. The laws of thermodynamics are subtly shifted into this dynamic, self-stabilizing loop. The ship's reactors can now run indefinitely on the ambient metric potential of the bubble. Elena and Marcus are finally safe from the cold heat death of the universe. The Weaver used the raw chaos of a supermassive black hole to build them a permanent sanctuary. As Elena and Marcus start over inside this beautiful, excreted dream of a thermodynamic god, I want to leave you with this final, profound question to ponder. If modern physics is right, and space and time really are emergent properties woven from quantum entanglement, could the shape of our own universe simply be the metabolic exhaust of something greater? It is an absolutely incredible thought that shifts how we view the very fabric of our reality.
Please like and subscribe.